Throughout my career, I've had the wonderful opportunity to work with an institution that encouraged its scientists to pursue the questions that they considered most important and most exciting scientifically, and I've been privileged to work with a great group of students and colleagues. Throughout my career, we've focused on understanding how plants grow, how they interact with the Earth system, and how they interact with human-caused changes in the Earth system. We've tried to put together a comprehensive picture of the natural world in a changing environment, and as a result of that work, we've looked at many aspects of the way ecosystems work, the way societies work, and where the world's headed as a consequence of the changes that humans are causing to ecosystems, the climate, and the global system. For the last 5 years, I've had the privilege of serving as the co-chair of one of the working groups of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. Working Group 2, the group I co-chair, is focused on impacts of climate change, adaptations, what people can do to deal with the climate changes that can't be avoided, and vulnerability, the question of who's likely to be harmed from climate change, where the harms are greatest, who's best protected. In the new report, we have gathered together hundreds of scientists to evaluate the work of tens of thousands of scientific papers and pull it into a comprehensive picture of what we know and what we don't know about climate change impacts, adaptation, and vulnerability. We've characterized the scientific knowledge of a wide range of impacts that have already occurred, many of which are very consequential. We've looked carefully at the projections of climate change impacts likely to occur in the future, and we've looked at the opportunities for what people, communities, firms, and countries can do to deal with the impacts of climate change that can't be avoided. Overall, we provide a comprehensive picture of a world that really faces substantial risks, but also has real opportunities for dealing effectively with one of the major problems of our century. The most recent IPCC report that we completed in 2012 was concerned with risks of extreme events and disasters and their connection with climate change. What we found in that report was that several kinds of extreme events, including heat waves, the fraction of the rainfall that falls in the heaviest events, and some kinds of droughts, have already increased as a consequence of climate changes that have already occurred and are likely to increase further moving into the future. We don't know that every individual climate extreme as a result of climate change, but we're pulling together a comprehensive picture of the way climate change alters the risks and also the strategies that can be taken to manage these risks. As a climate scientist, my greatest wish is that climate science gets a fair hearing and that countries, communities, individuals have the information to make smart decisions about their future. I have great confidence in the wisdom of individuals and countries to make good decisions if they have good information and act on it. IPCC tries its hardest to provide high quality, actionable, quality controlled information, and if we can provide this information in a context where it gets a fair hearing, where it's not biased by a media buzz, I think that the evidence is there to compel smart, effective action on climate, and it's a genuine priority. If we don't take action soon, action becomes much more expensive, much more complicated, and much less likely to be successful. In the IPCC, we report on what's known and what's not known about the science. We don't make recommendations to policymakers, but we lay out the issues in a way such that the policy process can be effective. What we found in the special report on climate extremes and disasters was that several kinds of extreme events have increased, and this includes extremes in high temperature and heat waves, extremes in the fraction of the rainfall that falls in the heaviest precipitation events, the kind of events that can cause flooding, some kinds of droughts, and some kinds of issues that are associated with sea level rise have already increased, causing really important risks for societies around the world. We also found that there's essentially no place that's protected from some risk from changing climate extremes. On the other hand, we also identified a wide range of strategies that individuals, communities, firms, and countries can take in order to provide protection and effective response to the aspects of climate extremes and disasters that can't be avoided.